Family genes have been helpful for the most dominant running back in the NFL. Some would say he's privileged, but there's no denying that Christian McCaffrey has earned his way to the top. In times when workhorse running backs are going extinct, McCaffrey is a maverick and the hope for young running backs looking towards a future of playing the position in the league. Will he be able to save the position and inspire the next generation of runners in the NFL? Today, we aim to answer that, and we'll break down the story of Christian McCaffrey's journey, beginning with his childhood and high school career, his recruiting experience, his college career, what scouts thought of him leading up to the draft, how he fared during draft night, his NFL career up to this point, and what's next for one of the game's best running backs today.
Well, you gotta say action.
Action!
Christian Jackson McCaffrey was born into an athletic family in Castle Rock, Colorado on June 7, 1996. His parents were notable athletes. His mother, Lisa, played soccer at Stanford University. His father, Ed, also attended Stanford and played receiver for the football team. Ed McCaffrey played 13 years in the NFL as a wide receiver. In that time, he was named to 1 Pro Bowl and was a part of 3 Super Bowl winning teams. Along with his athletic parents, Christian also has 3 brothers, Max, Dylan, and Duke. Max spent a few seasons in the league at wide receiver. Dylan finished his collegiate career as the starting quarterback of the Northern Colorado Bears. Luke currently plays running back, suiting up for Rice University. From an early age, a young Christian, like the rest of his athletic family, would stand out amongst his peers as an athlete. In high school, he would play multiple positions: running back, wide receiver, cornerback, and even punter. He spent his freshman season at Regis Jesuit High School, but would then go on to finish the next 3 years at Valor Christian High School, where he would break the Colorado state records for career touchdowns at 141, all-purpose yards at 8,845, career touchdown receptions at 47, and the most all-purpose yards in a season at 3,302. As a result of his elite play, he was named the Gatorade Football Player of the Year in Colorado in his junior and senior seasons. Along with football, McCaffrey played basketball and was a standout runner in track. According to Rivals.com, McCaffrey was ranked as the 3rd best all-purpose back in his class. ESPN gave McCaffrey a 4-star rating, and based on the rating system, he was ranked as the 26th best running back, the 32nd best player in his region, the best player in Colorado, and 218th overall in the 2014 class. He received a plethora of offers from the top programs in college football. However, he would keep his family tradition and commit to Stanford, where his parents attended. Christian jumped right into competition in his freshman year. However, he would struggle to see much time on the field. He finished the season as the team's 4th-string running back with 42 touches for 300 yards and 17 receptions for 251 yards and 2 touchdowns. Stanford finished the season with a record of 8-5 and won the Foster Farms Bowl over Maryland in a dominant 45-21 win. In 2015, his sophomore season, he took over as the team's starting running back and would instantly become a player who caught national attention. He finished the year with 2,019 rushing yards and got 8 rushing touchdowns, and through the air, he caught 45 passes for 645 yards and 5 touchdowns. Christian wasn't done. He was the Cardinals' kick returner and amassed 1,070 yards, averaging 28.9 yards of return. He accounted for 3,864 yards through offense and special teams. He was named the 2015 Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year, which helped the Stanford Cardinals finish the year with a 12-2 record, winning the Pac-12 and earning the bid to the Rose Bowl, where they took on 6th-ranked Iowa. In the end, they would win in dominant fashion by a score of 45-16. In his 3rd and final season at Stanford, he would miss 2 games with injury. This led to him taking a statistical dip, finishing the year with 1,603 yards and 13 touchdowns on the ground, and 310 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. Once again, Stanford would have a very successful season, finishing the year with a 10-3 record. In their bowl game, they took on North Carolina in the Sun Bowl. This would be an extraordinary close game, with McCaffrey and his team escaping with a 25-23 win. McCaffrey proved himself as one of the most talented players in college football and boosted his stock in the 2017 draft class. He was one of the most sought-after prospects heading into the draft by some teams. Some scouts thought otherwise. Strangely, Lance Zierlein from NFL.com gave him a prospect grade of 6.4 out of 10, deeming him a player who will become a good starter within 2 years. He ranked as the 3rd best running back in the class with a production score of 89, 4th in athleticism score with a rating of 77, coming out to a final score of 92, the 2nd best at the running back position. Some scouts were in love with his ability to change direction, his vision as a ball carrier, his ability to protect the ball, and his dual threat ability to get it done on the ground or catch passes out of the backfield. However, they were a bit worried about his build, the immense amount of touches he had in college, and whether he would be strong enough to break tackles in the NFL the same way he did at Stanford. On draft night, McCaffrey would not have to wait long to hear his name called. He would be the 2nd running back off the board. Leonard Fournette was selected before him at 4th overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars. However, at the 8th overall pick, the Carolina Panthers would pounce on the opportunity to pair him with a prime Cam Newton. Similar to the beginning of his time at Stanford, it would take some time for McCaffrey to earn the starting spot. To open up the season, he would be the backup to Jonathan Stewart. Despite this, he still had a solid rookie season, picking up 435 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground, along with 651 yards and 5 touchdowns through the air. This would also be one of the few trips to the playoffs that McCaffrey got to experience in his career so far. In 2018, there was no sophomore slump for McCaffrey. The backfield was all his, and he was named the team's starting running back, resulting in a statistical jump from his rookie season, earning his first 1,000-yard rushing season. He would finish the year with 1,098 yards and 7 touchdowns on the ground and caught 107 passes for 867 yards and 6 touchdowns through the air, which netted him All-Pro second-team honors. The following season in 2019 was outstandingly brilliant for McCaffrey. He put the league on notice for real. He would rack up 1,000 yards on the ground and through the air, proving himself as one of the most dangerous dual threats in the league. He ran for 1,387 yards and 15 touchdowns, and caught 116 passes for 1,005 yards and 4 touchdowns. He made his first Pro Bowl appearance, made the All-Pro first team, and finished third in the Offensive Player of the Year voting. After an incredible year in 2019, the next 2 seasons of his career would be plagued with injuries. He was only able to play in a cumulative 10 games in the 2020 and 2021 seasons. In that time, he ran for 667 yards and 6 touchdowns and recorded 54 receptions for 492 yards and 2 touchdowns. The 2022 season would be his last with the Carolina Panthers. After 6 games, there was a historic blockbuster trade that landed him on one of the best teams in the league. The San Francisco 49ers went all in and landed McCaffrey. They sent a 2023 second round, 2023 third round, 2023 fourth round, and 2024 fourth round pick to Carolina. And in return, the 49ers would get arguably the most talented back in the league. The 49ers offense was already loaded with firepower, but John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan were looking for a home run hitter. By acquiring McCaffrey, it opened up a whole new level of ways for Shanahan to attack defenses. McCaffrey finished the year with 1,139 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground, and an additional 341 yards and 5 touchdowns through the air. In the playoffs, McCaffrey was a massive part along with Brock Purdy, in leading the team on a deep postseason run. In this 3-game stretch, he ran for 238 yards and 2 touchdowns while pulling in 12 passes for 61 yards and 1 touchdown. While the 49ers had the talent to make a Super Bowl run, the stars would not align for them. Injuries to Purdy in the quarterback room would cripple a team, leaving them with no viable options at the quarterback position. As a result of this, they would fall to the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Conference Championship by a final score of 7-31. In 2023, McCaffrey has once again been one of the most dangerous players in the NFL. He set the 49ers franchise record for the most consecutive games with a touchdown, and they once again appear to be a Super Bowl caliber team. If they're able to make it through the season without suffering any devastating injuries, this could end up being the season in which he finally wins his first title. With McCaffrey approaching the death age for typical running backs, there's no telling how much more time he has in the league. But one thing that we know for sure is that Christian McCaffrey is not typical. He's one of the top talents in the NFL, not just as a running back, but as a lethal offensive weapon. Pairing him with Shanahan's offensive genius has given us the opportunity to witness something special. McCaffrey is winning on the field and off of it. On April 7, 2023, he dropped the knee and asked Olivia Culpo to be his wife. They're now engaged and ready to enjoy life winning together. His story is one of the great ones, and there's so much more to be written. The 49ers have a long list of dominant players throughout NFL history, and Christian will definitely climb those ranks. Where do you think he'll land? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Barring any significant changes or injuries, McCaffrey will likely ride out the remainder of his career in San Francisco as they continue their quest to contend for Super Bowls. Thank you for watching The Halftime Show.